In this video, let us write the C program to print the spiral square number pattern. For example, let us consider the square size is 6. For this pattern to be successful, we have to choose the square size as even number. We can see that the number starts from 1, fills the top row, and then rightmost end of the square, then bottommost row, then the leftmost row. After filling the boundary, it goes to the inner square, and at each location the number is incremented in a spiral wave. Hence, this is called as spiral square pattern. Before seeing the algorithm and the C code for the spiral square number, please subscribe to our channel. Now we will see the algorithm behind this spiral square pattern. The first one is, let us consider the spiral square pattern as a 2D array of the size provided. The second point is, we have to first fill the array with same row but column varying from 0 to the size. We have to do this for all 4 sides by incrementing the number to be stored inside the array. Then we have to repeat the step previous point 3, point 2 basically for size by 2 times. For example, here if the size is 6, we have to repeat the point 2 for 6 by 2 3 times to fill all the squares. To better understand, we will write the C program and parallelly we will read our algorithms. Let me write or take size as a variable, and I am going to declare it initialize with size as 6, which is an even number. Now we will declare 2D array of size by size, and we will have another variable n which is initialized to size minus 1. As we know, array of size will hold the value from 0 to size minus 1. Hence, n is an indication for the last parameter of the spiral square. The spiral square is actually indicated by 2D array. Let us also have a variable num initialized to 1. This num will be incremented for each position when we start storing in the array. Also, let us introduce variables I and j to loop through these array values. As a first step, let us display this 2D array. For that, we will run the for loop with I varying from 0 to n. N is nothing but size minus 1. And we will start the inner for loop with j running from 0 to j less than size. With each value of I and j, we will start displaying the values in our 2D array. So we will printf, and to have better visibility on printing, I will have 5 positions for each values and display corresponding array of a and j. After each column, we will have a new line statement so that we have the square pattern displayed. Now this nested for loop is only to display the content of array. we have not yet stored any values which is incrementing inside the array, but at this junction we will verify if our display code for the 2D array is working okay. As there is no value stored, let me initialize the array with values 0 for all 36 elements. As it is an array of 6 by 6, there will be 36 elements, and I am just initializing with 0 to check our for loops whether it is working okay to display the content of array. Okay, we will execute our code now. It should display 2D array of 6 by 6 with content as 0 and each row having 6 values, and there will be total of 6 rows, so 36 elements. So far we have done point number 1 of our algorithm, which is nothing but define the 2D array of size. We will move on to point 2, which consists of 4 steps, and the first step is to loop from left to right, that is topmost row of the square has to be filled starting from 1 and increment each position by 1, and this incrementing should happen until the size we have defined. Here we have defined 6. So let us start a for loop to display from left to right. We have to start from 1, and since the size is 6, there shall be 6 elements at the top of the square. Hence j shall be less than or equal to n, where n is an integer initialized as size minus 1. So it is 0 to 5 basically, and num is initialized to 1, hence it starts with 1, and at 0 to 5th location it will be from 1 to 6 values will get stored in the array. As we can see, array I of j is better, so I have initialized I and j as 0. Here it is left to right, so row I will remain fixed and j is varying from 0 to n, and the value num is stored in corresponding array, that is top row. As we can see, the top row of the spiral square is filled with numbers from 1 to 6 as expected. The size is 6, hence the top row is up to 6. Then we have to move from top to bottom. So we will start one more for loop. This is step 2 of our point number 2. We will initialize j is I. So for top to bottom, already the first left to right has taken care of the topmost position. Hence we have to start one position below the top, hence I plus 1, and it shall continue till the bottom. Here the varying one is a first dimension of the array, hence array of j, and the second dimension is the last column, which is n. We can see it is incremented from 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 is the bottommost row and right hand column of the square. As the for loop is initialized from I plus 1, it started below 6, otherwise it would have overlapped in the position 6 itself, and it continued till j less than or equal to n. As a third step here, we should fill from right to left which is nothing but the bottommost row of the square. So here we have to start from right. So j shall be starting from n minus 1, because at top to bottom the rightmost position is filled. Without disturbing it, we have to start from n minus 1, and it shall continue if the value is greater than or equal to I, which is nothing but 0 here. In this case, the varying value is the second dimension of the array, whereas the first dimension of the array is fixed and it's the last row, hence value of array of n of j is used to fill the value stored in number. We will also do the fourth step, which is bottom to top. Again it shall start from j n minus 1 and it shall end when j is just greater than I, because the topmost left end is already filled with 1, and here the varying one is the first array position, hence array of j and I is nothing but the fixed one here, to be filled with the number which is incremented at each for loop. Now all four sides of the outermost array should be filled, and it started with 1, incremented the values until it is 20. The next one is it should start spiraling to the next inner square. So if we go back to our algorithm, point 3, we have to repeat the above point 2 for size by 2 times. Here size is 6, hence 6 by 2 is 3 times. So there are 3 full squares formed. We'll start an outermost for loop covering all these 4 steps of left to right, top to bottom and right to left, followed by bottom to top, where I will be 0 and it will be until I less than size by 2. Size by 2 provides the number of square boundaries to be repeated. We will also, as all these values in the array gets filled with these 4 steps and repeating it for size by 2, we don't have to initialize the array. Okay, on executing we see that 24 is overlapped, 25 is overlapping the 7, and it's all shifted rather than spiraling down. So we'll go back. It is because we have a variable n which is initialized to size minus 1, but when we go to the innermost square it has to be decremented. So in our outermost for loop we will decrement n and I is accosted accordingly. And all other 4 steps are within the outermost for loop. Okay. Now on executing we got our spiral square starting from 1, filling the outermost boundary at 4 sides before filling the subsequent innermost squares. It looks like the numbers are spiraling from outside to inside. Our code is flexible to provide different size for this spiral square pattern. Now we will provide size as 4, which gives us 4 by 4 square spiral pattern with 4 elements in each row. We can also increase the size to get bigger spiral square patterns, as we can see here. Please subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this.